Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Um, so the title of my talk is How We Built a Scalable Real-Time User Targeting System. My name is Sriranjan, if you don't know who I am. I'm the CTO of Savan. If Savan is a new term for you, Savan is India's music streaming service. We started out servicing to the expat community in US and UK, but it turns out we became very popular in India. We have a desktop site. We have a bunch of mobile apps on every platform that you can think of. You can pretty much go there, search for any song you want, and start listening to it for free. The free comes with a disclaimer, but yeah, mostly. Yes, but it's in certain countries, that is. In India, it's still free. In a few other countries, it's still free. Yeah. So let's look at some of our numbers, just to give you a little more context on what kind of data we are looking at. We have about 20 million or so global MAUs, close to 19 of which is from India. The second metric is very important for any music streaming startup. So we try to, in fact, we pay our labels based on this. We get compensated based on this. It's what we refer to as streams a month. So we do about 500 million streams every month. It keeps growing. And in fact, we are happy that over the last 3 to 4 years, this number has doubled. We have about 30 million or so tracks live on Savan. And that supports about 90 different languages, depending on the geo where you are in. If you're in India and a few other countries, then you get all of English content as well. So the content that you see is actually dictated by the rights that we have. Now, a lot of you deal with India in some sense, so you might be aware of this, but over the last couple of years, there's been a huge growth in the mobile phone market. Right? You can actually get a good, decent Android device for like $40, and that will let you download any app you want. It's kind of your foray into the whole smartphone ecosystem. So naturally, we have seen a huge jump in our traffic as well. Our DAU has grown about 9 to 10x over the last couple of years, ever since the whole mobile ecosystem started changing. And now, if you're wondering what it really looks like, this is actually a photo of a random shopping mall in Mumbai. People are actually shopping for phones there. It's not a sale. It's nothing. It's just a regular Sunday. So this is the good side of the Indian ecosystem, the challenges or the stuff that we see in the Indian market. But with it, there are a few challenges, especially for a music streaming startup. Right? The network conditions are pretty bad in India. It's improving a lot with Reliance Jio and stuff, but it's still not there. Look at where India is compared to US. On an average, a 3G or a 4G network has about half of the bandwidth than what you see in US. And these are challenges. These are the challenges that we as a music streaming service provider need to address in our apps. Our apps should work on really low-end devices, and it should work in very choppy connections as well. But other than that, there are some other fun challenges that fun as we refer to in the music ecosystem as well. One is it's very diverse. India is very diverse. We support about 26 official languages, which means our search queries need to understand these 26 different languages as well. Right? Your phonetic rules change. It's not a regular string search anymore. It's not string distance algorithm, for those of you who don't know anymore. It's a lot different. So we got to fine tune all of our algorithms there. Same thing with radio. I mean, if you can see the image on the right, an artist can compose in multiple languages, right? So what does that mean? If you like Rahman in Hindi, does it mean you also like Rahman in Tamil? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're just a person who doesn't like Tamil songs. We don't know. We need to understand the user behavior, right? And that's actually a challenge for us. And 26, there are like a bunch of genres in every single language that you can think of, so we have to account for that as well. And the problem exists here as well. Indian artists tend to experiment across genres. And in fact, a single album will have songs from the same artist but belong to different genres. So we need to understand it. And we have to somehow serve radio, taking into account all of these things. We deal with about a bunch of music labels. 800 is actually a very small number. We actually deal with 500,000 music labels across the world. But then we don't interact with all of them. There are about 800 major ones that we deal with, who in turn go and get us rights from everywhere else. What all of this boils down is, context is key in music. We need to understand where the user is, what the user is doing, what will he like, what do we play for him. And if we can solve that problem, then our engagement rates go up. It's also a very good experience for the user. And that's